Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Wednesday, the 5th of January. With Robert Murray McShane, today we are reading Ezra chapter 5. At the end of chapter 4, work on the temple by the exiles came to a stop. There was opposition and an instruction was given, stop building the temple. In chapter 5, because of the ministry of Haggai and Zechariah the prophets, the people begin rebuilding the temple. The governor, Tattenai, then comes, asks what's going on, and sends a letter to King Darius to find out what the situation is. And I was struck by that because in chapter 4 there was a letter as well, written by the people that opposed the building. And that was a malicious letter. The tone was entirely dark. They wrote saying, check the history. These people are problematic. This city has always been a thorn in the side. If this building continues, it's going to upend the situation. This part of your kingdom is going to be threatened and your taxes are going to dry up. They were not asking for information. They had an agenda and they wanted the king to support them in their agenda. And that's what happened. Whereas Tattenai's letter really is just stating the facts. This is what's going on. This is what the people say. Please check. And it ends with the following. It ends up saying, now, if it pleases the king, let a search be made in the royal archives of Babylon to see if King Cyrus did, in fact, issue a decree to rebuild this house of God in Jerusalem. He just wanted the information. And that struck me, these two letters, one malicious, the other fact-finding. And that's what the kind of world we live in. There are some people that will be completely opposed to the faith, and other people will let you be. And from a church perspective, I'm quite happy to get involved in ecumenical activity because I recognize that our faiths are different. We have numerous points where we will disagree. We cannot agree on what we understand by God or who Jesus was. We have one set of beliefs. The Jews, the Muslims, the Hindus, or the Buddhists have completely different views. We're not the same. But that doesn't mean to say that we're enemies. That's not necessarily malicious. And therefore, we can work together on social issues. We have a combined concern for the poor. We can work together to look after the poor. Where there's social and political issues, we can stand together on those. And we've seen that in the history of the country, where many religious leaders from a vast spectrum of religions stood together in opposition of apartheid. So we can work with non-Christians without any trouble. While we recognize we're not the same. And in a social context, we need to recognize that there are some people who will be malicious in their opposition. They will find out you're a Christian and they will then try to make your life miserable. In every social event where you are and they are, they will come and needle you and try and expose you and make you look stupid in front of everybody else. There are malicious people like that. Best to avoid them. There are other people who will just say, well, it's not my cup of tea, glad it works for you. And you can get on and have a really good friendship and social engagement with them. And that is a blessing. And we need to recognize that there are these differences in our world. And we need to live with this complex and challenging world. So be encouraged in that and know that you are blessed.